Dr. Harley Sawyer has to be one of the greatest antagonists Poppy Playtime has ever had. I would say the prototype is better, but I don't want to give my full opinion on him until Chapter 5 comes out. But before I get into why I think Harley Sawyer is still alive after the events of his death in Poppy Playtime Chapter 4, I should probably go over who he even is and what his motives are. Back when he was still a human and Playtime Co. was up and running, the Doctor was the head of any special project within Playtime Co. But we also know him as the originator and the one with the idea to make the Bigger Bodies Initiative.
When I look at this company we've built, I do not feel proud. Declining profits, failed experiments, people are constantly seeing things they shouldn't. Now we're understaffed, safety protocols are being abandoned, workplace incidents are common. We can't avoid a lawsuit forever. I'm here now with a solution. The Bigger Bodies Initiative.
With this in mind, Harley and the other scientists at Playtime Co. would create living versions of the toys like Huggy Wuggy, Mommy Longlegs, and Catnap, but not without some casualties. For example, Huggy Wuggy being loose in the woods, Catnap's massacre, and Rowan Stoll failing to expose Playtime Co. before being killed by Boxy Boo. After the theater incident was revealed to be Harley's fault, the executives, Lise Pierre, Eddie Ritterman, and Stella Graver, had enough of his shortcomings.
This recklessness has to stop. The Doctor has no regard for the safety of this facility or its staff.
Or the children in play care. I've tried to set boundaries with him. He doesn't listen to me.
He doesn't listen to any of us. Not really. Not anymore. And he's behind schedule. Playtime may have turned a corner financially, but that doesn't change the fact that his Bigger Bodies Initiative is still a money hole.
The guy's gotta go, Lath.
And how do you suggest we do that?
This wouldn't be the first time we made someone disappear.
We can't kill him, Eddie.
Why not?
Because, like it or not, we need him.
Eddie's right, though. Sawyer can't keep leading this project.
So we just ask him to step down? Take a demotion?
No, but...
I'm not disagreeing. Huggy loose in the woods, that business with Catnap, the whole Stoll thing.
And half a dozen other incidents.
Right. And all of that pales in comparison to the theater incident.
I don't even want to talk about that.
So, we can't kill the son of a bitch, but we need to knock him out of the equation. What do we do?
There is one thing I can think of.
Oh, it looks like he's waking up.
Where am I? What is this? Oh no. They didn't. Those backstabbing traitors.
Dr. Sawyer, can you hear me?
White? White, is that you? Who else is in there with you? You enjoy watching me rise like one of them? My head feels like it's split in two. This is wrong. You must have done something wrong.
Some disorientation is to be expected.
Who gave you the order? You spineless cowards. After all I've done for this project, for this company.
I gave the order, Sawyer.
Lise Pierre. Of course it'd be you. You have no idea what kind of mistake you just made.
Really? From where I'm sitting, you're the one who keeps making mistakes that need fixing. We gave you so many opportunities to clean up your own messes, but you just couldn't do it, could you?
What? You think you can do better? Nobody else can do what I do. You need my knowledge, my intellect.
think you're sitting in there right now and not in Boxy's stomach. Let me tell you how this is gonna go, Sawyer. From now on, you're here to give the lab boys answers when they need them, and carry out procedures when and how we tell you to. That's it. You'll be an open book to us whenever we want. So fight, or give in, or whatever, because either way, we own the infrastructure you're wired into.
You'll die for this, Leaf. When I get my hands on you, you're a dead man!
His temper is a bad look for you, Harley.
This was how Harley's life went on until August 8th, 1995, the Hour of Joy. During this time, Harley had manipulated the warden of the prison into giving him the Omni-Hand in exchange for their safety.
There is something you can do, Warden. I can help you. The Omni-Hand. If you give it to me, I can get you anywhere. I'll have control over everything. I don't know. If you want to wait to get torn to pieces, that's your prerogative. But look at your immediate options, Warden. What choice other than this gets you out of here alive?
I'm giving you the tool. Just get me out of here. Please.
Of course. You've made a smart decision, Warden. I promise I'll get you out of here safe and sound.
Although it is currently unknown if the warden escaped or not, it is highly likely they didn't escape. After the Hour of Joy at an unknown date, the Doctor and the Prototype ended up making an alliance to crack some kind of secret, with the Prototype working within the labs, and the Doctor taking complete control over the prison. Afterwards, Dowie, Poppy, and the other toys ended up making Safe Haven to keep him and the Prototype away. This went on until the player returned to the factory in 2005. Although the Doctor is basically absent throughout the whole game, besides one VHS tape in Chapter 3, from what we know from the Story So Far videos on Mob Entertainment's YouTube channel, the Doctor was watching our journey the entire time. We eventually encounter him for the first time on our train ride into the prison.
Now what's this? Do I feel something squirming its way beneath my skin? An invasive foreign little germ. After all this time? Ah, but I see. You. Well, little germ, let's make a game of you. You've blundered along the shadows above, and only managed to squirm all the way down here, but by the barest skin of your teeth. There are no shadows here that will be of use to you. Not even the ground beneath your feet is yours. There are no places you can hide. Not from me.
Throughout the game, the Doctor begins to toy with us, testing our fear with the Nightmare Critters, our stealth with Yarnaby, and our intelligence with Bob and Chops. But we conquer all of these tasks, and we finally have a face-off with him inside his headquarters. After avoiding his mechanical vessels and inserting all of the batteries into the terminals, we eject the Omni chip out of this computer and... And that is the last we see of the Doctor. Or is it? Firstly, we can immediately prove Harley is not dead just by his dialogue throughout the chapter. Harley mentions how destroying his organs and taking the Omni-Hand won't accomplish anything. He mentions that
Each rots and loses its function. It's as replaceable as anything else.
also during the boss fight inside of his headquarters, around when we insert the third battery into a terminal, the Doctor says this.
Don't bury myself so far down that no one will ever find me. Not the prototype, not anyone.
After we take the Omni chip and his brain literally explodes, he begins to tell us that
You saved.
And no, it isn't what he says that proves he is alive. It is the fact that he is able to say it in the first place. We literally took the Omni chip and destroyed his brain, the two things that are supposedly what keeps him alive. Yet, he is still able to speak. Secondly, in June, more than 4 months after Chapter 4 was released, the Doctor had taken over Mob Entertainment's Twitter and YouTube accounts, which was meant to set up a Q&A for people to ask the Doctor questions. The answers to said questions releasing over time on Twitter from the 9th to the 10th. Although this might not mean anything, it is worth mentioning. On the 13th, the same day the Doctor Takeover Q&A released on YouTube, on the YouTube channel Wicked Makers, which by the way, they make animatronic props and stuff. It's really cool. They made an animatronic for the Doctor. Now, this wouldn't have meant anything if not for the fact that A, it had came out not long after the Doctor Takeover, and B, it featured totally new lines from the actual voice actor of Harley Sawyer.
There's someone unexpected at the door.
6 days later, on the 19th, Mob Entertainment had released a new restricted VHS tape featuring, you guessed it, the Doctor. Mainly focusing on the Omni-Hand and how Yarnaby got to the door to chase us in Chapter 4. It is kind of odd that so much content relating to the Doctor was released in that time frame. We could put it off as fan service, but I believe there is more to it than that. Finally, speaking of the restricted VHS tape, at around 26 seconds into the video, we can see the POV of one of the Doctor's vessels inserting the Omni chip into presumably the computer we had pulled it out of in Chapter 4, which opens the door and allows Yarnaby through. I've already mentioned this earlier that the Doctor is able to function without the Omni chip, and we were led to believe that the Doctor died upon removing the chip, but we know that the Doctor is still functional without it, as he didn't acquire the Omni-Hand until the hour of joy when acquiring it from the Warden. With all of this in mind, we are provided with two possibilities. The Doctor is still alive and faked his death in Chapter 4 in order to hide from the prototype, as he doesn't need the Omni chip or the organs to survive, and he can just replace said organs. Or I'm completely overthinking this. In conclusion, I genuinely hope the Doctor is still alive. He is such a cool villain, and despite being used quite well in Chapter 4, there is so much more that can be done with this character. Chapter 5, based on its teasers and trailers, is already shaping up to be the best chapter so far. The Doctor's return would make it even better than before. Thank you all for listening to me rambling, and have a fantastic day.